think it's just your mind answering it. I think, well, sometimes it is your mind because you already know the answer. You don't need God to answer everything for you. But I think it's just your mind answering it. I think.
All right, let's see. All right, guys, go tag 1 or 2 people on this to get them in here to, I'm gonna go over the kitchen table / recruiting presentation. I'm gonna start in about 1 minute once these guys get on. All right, so let's see. We had what, like 10 or 15 on last night for going over it. So I'm going to be going over this legitimately every day. That doesn't mean you should only come on one day, right? That means you should come all the days, and you should practice this yourself with each other, and just start to learn all the things, because it's going to be super important for you guys to know that stuff. So let's see, training. Now I'm gonna pin this real quick. All right. Okay, so if I am getting on an appointment with somebody, every time I want to go to close the participants thing, like 7 new people, not really, 1 new person joins and it throws me off. So, all right, if I'm going on an appointment with somebody and I am forming them, I'm getting to know them. So forming is family, occupation, recreation, motivation, right? So I'm going to get to know the person I'm talking to. Hey, tell me a little bit about your family. What do you do for work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? I'm going to figure out how they got here. What do they know about it? I'm going to do everything I can to kind of pull information from them of what they've been told about what we do, because I want to know what I'm working with, right? I want to make sure that I'm understanding what they know and how I can bridge the gap from what they know to what they need to know so they will join, right? So they will join. And then I'm going to miss with the sale, right? I'm going to miss with closing business with them so they have life insurance or investments or whatever. So when I'm on the appointment, I'm talking to them like, hey, tell me a little bit about your family. Are you married, kids, that type of stuff, right? I'm going to get their answers. Let's see. Kelly, are you able to talk back and forth, or is it loud in the background?
I should be able to.
Okay, cool. So 1 second. All right, sorry. Okay, so I'll get on a call with Kelly. Let's say that Tammy introduced me to Kelly. Tammy did a great job introducing us. She really did a great job edifying me as her trainer. And now I'm on here. So Kelly, tell me a little bit about your avatar. Who are you? And like, what do you do for work? Are you married, kids? What's not, like, you make somebody up or you can be yourself. I don't care.
My name's Samantha. I've
Oh,
been
you're not
married.
Samantha, you're Kelly, because that's going to confuse me, but you can make up everything else.
My name's Kelly, and I've been married for 26 years, and I have 6 children.
Okay, great. So you've been married forever, right? All right, Kelly. So you've been married for 26 years. Great. What do you do for work?
I'm a construction worker.
You're a construction worker. Awesome. Okay. And what does your husband do?
He cuts down trees.
He cuts down trees. That's dangerous. That's exciting. Awesome. So cool. And guys, I'm definitely, if they're doing dangerous work, like she's in construction and he's swinging around on trees all day like Tarzan, cutting them down, right? So I'm definitely going to make sure I make a note of that, because they need life insurance, right? Like at the end of the day, like they absolutely 100% need it. They both need it. Cool. And then you said, Kelly, that you have 6 kids. How old are they?
They are 15, 14, 10, 8, 7, and 5.
Oh my goodness. How are you working a construction job all day long and your husband's working all day and you have 700 kids? That's crazy. That's awesome. More power to you guys. So you're working there. How do you like what you do? Do you enjoy that?
It has its moments.
How's its moments? What are you still doing there then? Are the owner yet? Do you run it or what?
No, I need a paycheck.
Need a paycheck? Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. And do you feel like are you like making enough, or is there not enough money left at the end of the month usually, or what's that typically like for you guys, if you don't mind me asking?
It's usually pretty tight at the end of the month.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. And when you guys have some time that you guys are just kind of hanging out, you guys aren't working, doing anything crazy, what do you do for fun?
Well, with 6 kids, it's kind of hard to really do anything for fun. So we just kind of hang outside or go camping every once in a while because that's
Okay.
usually pretty cheap. So
Yeah, for sure. What are some things that you want to do? Like, what are some bucket list items or places you want to take the kids? What's something like that?
maybe go to Florida for a week or be able to do an all-inclusive with just my husband for a week and leave the kids with the grandparents.
Okay. Awesome. That's great. And what would you say is the number one thing stopping you guys from doing that?
Money and time.
Money and time. Okay. So, I mean, if we could give you something that, or if we could show you something that gave you the opportunity to make what you're making right now with less hours and, maybe had a little bit more freedom, you were in control of your schedule a little bit more, would that be something that you'd be interested in?
Sure.
Okay, sweet. And Kelly, what's your motivation for jumping on the call today? What made you decide to hop on?
Just saw Tammy's post and figured I'd check it out, see what it was about, and if I was interested.
Okay, perfect. So awesome. Well, Kelly, I just want to show you a little bit about what we do today. Have you get to know me a little bit because I'm the regional vice president. I'll be working with you a little bit. So I want you to make sure that hey, there's a good feeling there, as well as like you understand what we're doing. I'm not saying you're going to be a professional on day number 1. Obviously, you're probably not going to know how to do it, right? But I want you to just see it, see what it looks like, all that kind of stuff, understand everything. So Kelly, I have a few questions for you. I'm sure you're going to have some for me. Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Sure.
All right, perfect. So the first thing is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not helpful at all, 10 being very helpful. How helpful would an extra like $1,500 to maybe $1,000 a month be for you and your family right now?
Oh, definitely a 10.
A 10? Okay, great. What would that do for you guys?
Have extra money that we could maybe do something with the kids or go somewhere or plan something fun.
It's like a vacation or something like that?
Right.
Okay, awesome. Where would you go? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Like camping or something? Or are you just leaving the kids behind and just you and your husband going this time?
Probably leave the kids behind and just me and the husband go.
There you go. Nice. Awesome. Cool. So the second question, Kelly, is there any reason that you would not be able to get started with the training and the licensing and stuff like that right away?
I don't think so, unless I have to do it when I'm trying to work.
Right. Okay. So as long as it's like around your schedule, you'd be fine with that?
Right. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. The third question, is there anybody you need to like run this by prior to getting started, or like you've already talked to your husband about it and you said earlier, right? So that would, I mean, he's cool with you doing something, making a little bit more money. Anybody else you need to check with?
Nope.
Okay. Awesome. And then the second thing, or sorry, the fourth thing, excuse me, is about the time that you're planning on putting into this, right? So I know you said it was important that it fit your schedule, which I would agree with you. I'm not trying to get you fired, right? So with that being said, there's 3 different learning tracks that we have. The first one would be just a referral partner. Okay. So with this one, you're basically going to get licensed. You're sending people my way. I'm going to take care of them for you. I'm going to service the clients. So they're going to, I'll follow up with them. I'll do all that stuff. You just send me the name and number. You're going to make 50% of what you're eligible to make. So you'll make about 25% on that. Nothing crazy, make a couple $100 a month, but you don't have to really do any extra work. I know you're super busy, but this might, put enough, like fill up the cars with gas or get groceries or something like that, right? Give you a little bit of extra cash. Now the second track would be part-time. Part-time, Kelly, what you'd be looking at is around your schedule, working 5 to 15 hours a week from home, generating some extra cash, anywhere between, $1,000 to $3,000 a month. Again, in 5 to 15 hours a week, working at your own schedule. You and I will work together. You'll just have to sit there and smile and nod. You can smile and nod, right, Kelly?
Yes.
Perfect. So we don't even have to train you on that right now. You just got to jump on the call and listen and learn. And then as we go through that process, eventually you'll start running them yourself, and I'll start smiling and nodding, and you'll be the one doing it. And then you'll be ready to go after that. Okay. That'll take about 6 weeks for you to be trained. Again, once you're licensed, you'll be making 1,000 to 3,000 a month. The last one would be like a full-time or a leadership track. This is something where you're like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of my job. I don't make enough money. I don't have enough time, whatever. And then Kelly, you're like telling me that, hey, I want you to coach me like I'm going to be opening up an office. So I'll just talk to you a little bit different. We'll have a little bit more urgency in the time that you are working, because we want to get you to full-time as fast as possible. You can expect to make over $4,000 a month once you're full-time and trained and you're doing the things that you need to do, right? So Kelly, which of those 3 options sounds like it would be best for you and your family right now, given your situation?
Part-time for right now.
Part-time? Okay, perfect. And the last thing, Kelly, is around the licensing. So you're gonna have to pass a federal and state background check as well as a financial background check. Do you have any felonies or financial misdemeanors, bankruptcies, anything like that in the last, a couple of years that aren't resolved?
No.
Okay, perfect. So great. The last thing though is there is a license, right? Like I said, you're gonna have to take the background check, you're gonna have to take a test, all that fun stuff. It's amazing, I promise. So Kelly, with that being said, there is a licensing deposit. Now we're going to pay for about $6,000 worth of financial licensing for you. Okay. You just have to pay for a one-time refundable licensing deposit. It's $124. You do get your money back after you pass your test. But this way we know that you are so able to run the business, right? You're legally allowed to do business. You're recognized by the state. It's your license, not mine. You can take it with you if you ever decide to do anything else. Kelly, would that 124 be an issue for you guys today?
No.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm just going to give you the rundown of who we are and what we do. And if you have any questions, stop me. And then at the end, we'll get you plugged into licensing. Is that fair?
Sure.
All right. So Kelly, we're with a company called Primerica. Have you ever heard of Primerica before?
No.
All right. So if I were to say to you, like a good neighbor, Kelly, what would you say?
State Farm is there.
State Farm is there. You've been brainwashed. That's all right. Don't worry. Everybody else has been too. So you're not the only one. Now, like I said, we are the largest independent financial services marketing organization in North America. So State Farm in 2020 spent almost $1 billion a year on their marketing. And they're still at this point spending about that much on marketing. Why? Just so you and I know their name, right? So when they're looking to go and they want to bring on more clients, we think like a good neighbor. It's like, oh, State Farm is there, right? So we jump right to the conclusion. We do that. So, what we're doing is we do the same thing that they do. We help people with their insurance, investments, financial planning. We just don't spend any money on marketing. It's a referral-based business. You treat a client well, they're going to give you a couple more clients. Okay. Now we are listed on the stock exchange, Kelly. So if you don't believe me, it's fine. You can go look it up yourself, but we are on the stock market. We're a publicly traded company. We've been publicly traded for about 13 years. We've been around since 1977. We have 2.7 million client investment accounts, not 2.7. That wouldn't be very many clients, 2.7 million clients. And that's for investments only. We have, almost $350 billion in assets under management right now across the country and Canada. Okay, so we have lots of different investment clients. We have over 5.7 million lives insured through our companies. That's almost $1 trillion of life insurance actively in force right now. We've been featured in Forbes magazine as one of the best insurance companies in 2022. We're the #1 most trusted life insurance company and #3 most trusted financial services company, according to Investors Business Daily in 2022. We've also won a whole bunch of other awards. I won't bore you to death with that. A couple of my other favorites, though, in 2022 and 3 and 21, actually. So 21, 2, and 3, we're a top 25 place for diversity, top 25 place for women to work for. So we're just, what we do is 100% right. And we treat people well, and we allow people to earn their promotions, right? We don't just promote based on you being my favorite. Like, you have to come in and actually do the work to get promoted. Now, Kelly, our mission is to help families earn more income, become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent. So Kelly, let me ask you a question. Do any of those things sound like they would be beneficial for you?
Absolutely. All of them.
Yeah, all of them, right? And so the truth is, most of the time when somebody starts with us, all 4 of those they need help with. They need to make more money. It's not that they necessarily have an earning income or an earning issue most of the time. Usually they have a spending issue, but if we can help them make more money and control the spending with like making sure they're getting out of debt and they're protected the right way and stuff like that, it's going to make their life easier. But there's usually two buckets. One is they want to make money. That's how we got here. Number two is we're going to help them become properly protected. Most people have the wrong type of life insurance, Kelly. So there's like there's a bunch of different types of life insurance, like cash value, whole life, index universal life, group life. So like just through your job, which I'm sure you guys probably have that. And maybe you have some other stuff too, but we help them become properly protected with life insurance. Okay. We help them get out of debt faster. Our average person, we get out of debt 14 years earlier and save them $130,000 in interest. And then the last thing is we help them retire earlier with less taxes. So Kelly, I know that there's kind of two boats here. And I guess, let me ask you, which one would you find yourself a little bit more interested in? Are you more like, hey, you know what, I need more money? Or are you more like, hey, let's get this financial plan taken care of?
Kind of both, but
Okay.
more money.
Great. So we'll talk about earning more money, and then we'll show you and your husband how you guys can make sure you're doing everything else the right way as part of your training. Okay. So how we do what we do, Kelly, is we just teach people how money works so they can make better decisions about how to actually manage their money. So Kelly, let me ask you this. If I sent you and your husband, if I sent you guys my address and said, come down, we're going to do a barbecue, bonfire, it's going to be amazing. What would you do with my address to get here for the very first time?
Put it in the GPS on my phone.
So you're going to put it in the GPS right now. Why would you not just aimlessly drive until you somehow magically ended up in the right place?
Because you don't know where you're going. I have no idea where you live.
Yeah, right. You have no idea where you're going, right? You might think you're coming to Florida, but you're actually going to California, right? That would be a big mistake. And so for a lot of reasons, but anyway, so anyway, you come down here and you guys get here and we have fun and then you head back. Right now, while you're on your way down here, you've never been here before, so you don't know what you're looking for, right? So you need something that gives you direction on how to get here. Now, Kelly, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been retired before?
No.
No. Okay. So obviously you've never been retired, so you're going to need some help getting there too, right? And what we do is we provide a roadmap or a GPS for people's money. Just like you had a GPS for your vehicle, we give you a GPS for your financial plan. We'll teach you how to get there. We'll teach you how to get there as fast as possible with as little road bumps and distractions and explosions as possible, right? We'll get you there as safe as we can. And so Kelly, you would agree that having a plan is better than not having a plan, right?
Correct.
Awesome. And outside of yourself, who currently handles your financial planning?
My husband usually does.
Okay, great. So what I want to do is I want to schedule a time for your husband and I to jump back on a Zoom call to do your first step of training, which is the financial needs analysis, right? So we're going to schedule the FNA guys right here. So I'll schedule it with you so we can have that on the books already. Okay. Then, so we schedule it. Kelly finds a great time. Perfect. So awesome. A week from today, you and your husband are going to be ready to meet up. Make sure you guys have all your investment documents, all your insurance documents, all that kind of stuff, your budget, whatever. We'll go through all that stuff with you guys. Okay. And then Kelly, so as far as working with us goes, best case scenario, Kelly, you come in, you get licensed, right? You realize you make a little bit of extra cash. Maybe this turns into something that you love doing and you work full time. You end up switching careers down the road. Okay. Now it's not going to happen right away. Maybe it'll take you a few months to get full time. But once you decide to go full time, you make $3,000 to $5,000 a month or more. But you're doing it from home around your kids' schedule. You're being able to do the things you want to do. Maybe being able to even travel, take the kids around with you a little bit more. Okay. Worst case scenario, Kelly, you get a great education in money and finance, and you know that you and your husband and your family's finances are taken care of, and you are on the right track. And now you have a professional license that you'll be able to go take with you, and you'll be able to go work somewhere else if you really wanted to, probably make a little bit more money than what you're doing right now, even if this isn't for you. So Kelly, my only question for you is how soon do you want to start making an extra couple $1,000s a month from home part-time?
Like today.
Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill out this the business application. I'm going to share my screen. I need you to download 2 apps real quick. So go download Telegram and Primerica. I'm going to fill out the thing, right? And I'm obviously going to go a little slower than that just so I can walk her through it. I fill everything out. I send her the links. I send her the Teachable link, the Financial House link, and the orientation link. I've already scheduled the FNA. And guys, today I'm going to figure out 2 or 3 times during the week that I'm going to have orientations every week. Okay. So that way you can just say, hey, the next one is Wednesday at this time or Tuesday at this time, just so it's not all over the place because we need to get better at getting people orientations. Like y'all recruit a bunch of people and then they never do an orientation. So we have to fix that. So then I closed that. Guys, it's been 19 minutes since I started recording this. It's been maybe 15 minutes since we started our conversation of me getting to know Kelly and her husband, right? And her job and her kids. And what all did we do? We scheduled an FNA, right? And we started the application for recruiting her, which will take another 10 minutes. And we scheduled an IBA as well, right? Or not IBA, excuse me. We scheduled a time for her to do her orientation. So guys, what questions do you have for me right now about that particular process?
I have a question.
What's up? I gotta jump on another Zoom call that I totally forgot about. I'll answer your question, then I gotta jump off. I'm sorry, it's for planning this weekend's thing. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I forgot I had to turn my phone as well.
You're in
So
two
my
places.
issue, I am, sorry, let me turn the screen back off. So, all right, so my biggest issue is that I, like after asking the 5 questions and then like transitioning into, after presentation and saying like, no, obviously you find the value in this. Feel like I'm still getting kind of caught up with making that ask of like, obviously I already told them that, hey, you're gonna have to make that 124 deposit anyway, and they already were okay with it. I mean, yes, I have closed some bits, but I still catch myself like
So
still.
I think I know what you're asking. Tell me if this answers. If not, ask it a different way. Okay. So
Okay.
you're trying to figure out how to ask them to join the business. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Don't assume the close. Everybody type that in the Zoom chat. Assume the close. So you're on the appointment. You're in control, right? So you get to the end of explaining everything to them. And so you say, so I would ask Kelly if she wasn't like on board with everything we talked about. Like, as we do this over the next couple of weeks, guys, I want you guys to try to like throw objections at me, like hear how I would handle them. Like this one was really, Kelly didn't give me any objections, which is fine. A lot of times you don't get that many. A lot of times we create the problem before it happens, if we're being honest, right? Where we're the ones that are causing the objections for them, right? If you just go with it, Kelly wants to join. She's ready to get started. She needs something different. So anyway, I'm going to recruit Kelly and then I'm going to come back. But if you notice, Ellie, and I didn't ask her, are you ready to get started? What did I say? You remember?
I don't know.
So what we're going to do next is fill out the application, get you scheduled for an orientation, and get you into licensing. And then you might get halfway through, they'll be like, oh, I didn't know we were doing this today. I'll be like, yeah, earlier I asked you if the 124 would be an issue today, and you said no. So I just was going based off the fact that you told me that this was going to be fine. Right? Like, it's just being, you got to be confident though. That's the thing is like, they're like, if you're not confident, they know. You might think you got it together, but you don't. They know that you're like not sure about making the ask or you're nervous to ask them. Don't ask them. Just assume that they're joining. They're still on the call. They booked an FNA with you probably. If they're married, if they're not, they're at least excited about it. They understand they need all this stuff. We're just, hey, so what we're going to do next, we're going to fill out the life insurance application. I'll do that. We'll do a KT tomorrow. So somebody come with like an avatar for a KT tomorrow. Kelly's married, so I turned that into an FNA. If she was single, I might not have turned that into an FNA. I might have just recruited her and done an orientation and then done an FNA later. But because she's married, I wanted to schedule a time. I already scheduled a time for her and her husband to get back with me. So if she's like, oh, I want to think about it. Yeah, great. No worries. Well, why don't we do this? Let's get you plugged into licensing so you have everything you can think about. You can look at all the information with your husband, and we're going to get together a week from now. Okay, great. If she says no, awesome. Whatever. I don't care. I'm going to overcome that objection still. But guys, I got to get on a planning call for this Saturday. I love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll do the same thing tomorrow. Make sure you all get down here on Saturday for the